Hey folks, it's Jay with another football reaction. Today we've got another COPA90 masterclass. Our first and only final SC Freiburg. We have not done this one yet. Truth be told, I know I've really slowed down on the reaction game over the last couple of months. There were just a bunch of issues with some of them. Obviously this content doesn't belong to me and I don't want to ever have any disrespectful things happen between me and another creator of sorts. So when I make a video, that's a whole different story. It's completely different from when I make if I make my own video, that is completely different from reacting to it, to a video. Some people weren't happy with the reactions, some creators weren't. I've talked to certain ones like Daily Dose of Football, a couple other ones that were perfectly okay with it, as long as it's actually a reaction, So I've been trying to mitigate and figure out what I can and can't do here, because I just don't want the channel to just disappear. But I also understand if people don't want creators or YouTubers or whatever reacting to their content, I fully understand it. So I've just been trying to navigate that field a little bit more carefully and kind of figure out what we can and can't watch over here. So yeah, again, never want to disrespect anybody. So the goal is to always see if people are cool with me watching this stuff. I've actually talked to Lucas directly from Daily Dose of Football. Totally cool with it, as long as we actually react. I don't think COPA90 minds, because a lot of people react to their stuff. I don't monetize any of these videos. The goal is just to learn. So that's always my biggest thing I want to push. But as always, be sure to go check out the original video in the description down below. I don't know anything about this or this club, so I'm excited. I haven't listened to Eli in his magnificent voice talk about football in a very eccentric and positive way in a while. So I'm looking forward to this, man. Let's go.
I don't know many clubs where the team gets relegated and no one calls for the boss's head.
But I think it's a story in Freiburg. If you grow up in Freiburg in the club, then you learn that it's normal.
European football is broken, with the same teams winning the same trophies against the same opponents in almost every season, in almost every.
Wait, did we actually watch this? Unironically, I've seen this mentioned before. How teams are winning the exact same teams are winning the same trophies over and over. Might have been another video. That's funny.
Country and against the same opponents in almost every season, in almost every country, and it's only getting worse.
Bayern Munich win their 10th consecutive Bundesliga title. Simply sensational stuff.
Resulting in a
have I seen this?
Where a select few teams
Whatever, I don't think I have.
Almost all the success, power, and attention, all of which is depriving us of new footballing stories, which to me has always been what football's truly about.
Right.
Luckily, last season saw a few underdogs with a chance at glory, so I went on a journey to document their story, their people, and their culture, and show whilst winning isn't everything, we need different winners in football to remind us of why we love this game.
Dude, oh my God, I gotta double check this one more time because I feel like I'm insane. I swear we watched this already. Okay, this was in the Real Betty video. Okay, dude, I feel like I was going insane. I'm like, have we seen this?
This is once in a lifetime.
There we go. That's what it was. This is just the intro. Okay. I didn't know they used this intro twice. I was like, wait, have I seen this already? Let's see Freiburg. Sure.
La Junta Directiva, ahir, vàrem aprovar l'acceptació dels requeriments per a participar a una futura Superliga Europea de Clubs de Futbol.
Which is shut down.
In April 2021, the universally despised European Super League was hastily announced by a handful of Europe's biggest clubs without any approval from their own supporters. Whilst the project ultimately failed, the deferring reactions from the fan bases of Europe's big four leagues said a lot about the fan scene of each respective country.
Yep.
In England, where fans still take and demand great pride in their role in the game, protests exploded all across the country. But in Spain and Italy, whilst there was some protests, they were far more rare and subdued, thanks to fan scenes that have long felt that their voice and power have been hijacked and concentrated into the hands of a few club owners and their friends in the media.
I gotta say, I have heard, I'm not gonna pause a lot throughout this video, but I've heard a lot of people say that's issues with a lot of different places and stadiums and stuff, specifically the Bernabeu or even the Camp Nou or the San Siro. Camp Nou, I said Camp Nou. In the San Siro, other places, it's so PG now. You can't really stand up, you can't really get wild in the stands and stuff. We've seen this in a lot of other previous videos we've reacted to. When you go into those lower divisions and stuff, it's a different ball game compared to the bigger game. Nobody's going to tell you to shut the hell up if you're complaining and screaming a lot in those bigger stadiums. And I don't really think anybody will right now. You got to really be doing something egregious, I assume, to really get told hey, chill. In those lower divisions and stuff where it's more raw and authentic, it's a whole different ball game. I've heard it's gotten a lot more pacified.
Exemplified by the president of Real Madrid's unchallenged TV appearance defending the tournament.
Porque nosotros lo que queremos es mejorar el fútbol, salvar el fútbol.
And then there was Germany, where there weren't any protests. However, this wasn't due to a lack of fan power, but actually quite the opposite. As Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund, the two German clubs invited to the proposed tournament, didn't even dare accept their invitations. Why? 50+1.
50+1 rule. Yep. Many people will have heard of that.
For those who haven't, the rule stipulates that every football club in the country, the members of the club must at minimum always possess a 51% voting majority on any and all decisions the club makes. Hence why supporters feel so strongly about it.
It's because it's the most basic and fundamental rule of German football, because it ensures us that the clubs belong to the people who love their clubs.
And so when the German Football League recently called a vote on whether or not to make amends to the beloved rule, fans across Germany united.
We collected like the signatures of over 300 fan clubs, fan groups, fan organizations from whole Germany to really show the bosses of all Bundesliga clubs 50+1 is undiscussable.
It's nonsense.
It must stay. It's not an option that 50+1 is falling.
And so on the day of the vote,
we went there and showed them this very, very long 30-meter list, basically saying that please ensure that you vote according to what your fans and members want.
What was the result?
We won.
What's the first thing you think about when you think about German football and German fan culture? You think of these massive choreographies, the vibrant, participatory, engaged fan culture. But beneath it is this entire democratic structure where people are engaged.
Actually can
and without that structure, you don't have the fan culture. It wouldn't exist.
That makes sense.
And whilst the few fans who delivered the list were there representing almost all of Germany's fan groups, it was fitting that two of them came from one club in particular.
SC Freiburg.
SC Freiburg.
From Freiburg.
It's really a club with good values, which is still member-based.
A humble club from the deepest southwest corner of Germany, SC Freiburg has become the shining example of the right way to run and support.
Look at all those people.
The story of this club is really unique, and it really stands for what football should be in its essence, right?
It's important to note it hasn't always been this way. As you only have to go back to the late 80s to have seen a very different football scene in Freiburg.
Ooh, how different are we talking? Oh wait, is this before the Berlin Wall?
In these days.
So yeah, football was...
That was the dumbest sentence I've just said. They said the South. They said the South. What am I talking about? Ignore my really stupid statement just now. I'm not that ignorant, I promise.
Not very big before.
Terraces were completely empty. You could sit down, you could stand. There were some very old dogs that probably seen more matches than many other spectators.
There was no buzz around this club.
There wasn't a huge club, only around 1,500 until up to 3,000 spectators.
Nothing.
In fact, the club's struggles off the pitch was so deep, the idea of Freiburg ever making it to the Bundesliga was not only unrealistic, but unwanted.
Our president, Achim Stocker, he said never be promoted into the first division.
Why?
He feared the first division.
He feared it.
Money?
There was so many things to do. We don't even have some floodlights in the stadium.
It was not like people didn't like it, but yeah, it was so small until the 90s. No, it was totally different.
You see, for the most part, football in Germany initially found its home amongst the more working-class cities and mining towns.
Of course.
Where the game offered an escape from a hard week's work and the dreary northern European winters.
Of course,
the kind of place Freiburg was anything but for a host of reasons. Firstly, there's their unique location.
We are in Germany, but it doesn't feel like that.
Oh, that's beautiful.
In a triangle of three countries.
Next to Switzerland, next to France.
Yeah, borders are quite close. We have France only half an hour away, and Switzerland a little bit more than half an hour.
I gotta say, this is the one thing I will forever be jealous of when it comes to like European countries. What do you mean you can just take a half-hour drive to, you just say France? I want a fucking, excuse my language, I want a baguette right now, like a homemade baguette. I'm going to France. Switzerland, I mean, what's the joke we can make here? Swiss cheese. You got a 45-minute drive there? Dude, it's 2 hours for me to get to Columbus to go watch a damn Columbus Crew game. Oh man, that's the one thing I'm so jealous about with European countries. You have so many places you can go, so many different cultures.
And to the border of Italy, it's 3 hours, and you can really feel the influence of those countries.
Secondly, there's their envious climate.
The weather in Freiburg is, I think, very unusual for the rest of Germany.
Because it's so warm.
We have the warmest temperatures, and we have the most sun hours, I think, per day. per year.
Damn, that's
Thirdly,
beautiful. Look at
there's
that.
Freiburg's relative wealth, thanks to the success of a unique German business model.
You have a good life in Freiburg if you live here.
It's not a poor city.
Yeah.
It does quite well for itself.
Yeah. You can also spot that there are rich people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
So we don't have a lot of industry here, but we have a lot of this small companies, Mittelstand we call it.
The Mittelstand is a secret source of strength for Europe's biggest economy.
Small companies, not too big companies, they don't go to the stock market. It's small steps they're taking, only small steps from year to year. You put the money you earn, you put it back in your company.
I love
The host of alternative activities Freiburg has to offer.
You had other options.
Yeah, a lot of
Spend your
options.
weekends.
Yeah.
Hiking,
The Alps are very close, so you can go climbing.
bicycling,
There are parks everywhere. Everyone is going out by bicycles.
dining, fine food,
There are a ton of good restaurants around here.
wine. This is a wine region in Germany.
Yeah, wine is very big. We have a lot of wine outside of the city. Famous
Makes
wine
sense.
from here called Grauburgunder. It's a kind of juicy but still dry wine.
Finally, the tranquil, laid-back way of life Freiburgers enjoy, a stark contrast to the boisterous crowds and atmospheres that make the Bundesliga such a spectacle.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
just a
Here
chill
people are
environment.
quite laid back and quite calm. Everything is quite quiet, not that hectic.
I think maybe it's just the influence of nature around you.
Das ist ein Lebensgefühl. Echt. Du stehst morgens auf den Balkon, das ist mein Balkon oben, und du stehst morgens nach dem Frühstück stehst raus, siehst du erst mal die Wolken.
Man, that's
Die Natur, du
awesome.
machst genau, jetzt bist du bodenständig, du
Yeah.
fühlst dich wohl.
Surrounded by the Black Forest. So when you have a city that old and
Look at
which is from the
that.
Middle Ages and it's surrounded by this dark, mysterious forest, it really looks beautiful.
Wait, hold on. Look at oh my God, that is gorgeous, man. I'm a sucker for some good architecture and some nature. Wow, that is beautiful. You know, I get this, maybe I'll find a picture of it or a video. I'll throw the clip in here. I get this magnificent view of what you see out the window right now is, well, you can't see anything right now. It's mostly darkness right now. When you see it during the daytime, especially during the summer, which is my favorite part, or during rainy days, it is a complete forest of greenery. You can see all the way up into the hillsides and little mini mountains that are out here. They're not real mountains, more like just big hillsides, I guess. During the summer, it is just this absolutely magnificent view. My favorite thing is like when you see the clouds floating over and they cast these giant colossal shadows on top of the green trees, and it looks almost borderline science fiction like. It looks like giant floating creatures just floating over a landmass. It looks unbelievable. I'm gonna post some videos of that in this little section right here. But yeah, I fully understand that. Being able to see just nature when you look at the window, I almost got a view of the city, but we opted for a view of the forest and the trees, and it made a world of a difference. It looks magnificent, so I fully understand where they're coming from.
And it's surrounded by this dark, mysterious forest. Ooh. It really looks beautiful.
It really gives off a feel in this city when you walk through it of like this picturesque postcard, almost fairy tale town.
Yeah.
It's just, I think, very nice and picturesque.
Yeah. Yep.
And all of this added up to create a place and people that didn't seem quite cut out to be a German footballing city.
So the atmosphere was quite, wasn't very loud, quite calm.
But the reality was anything but, as when Freiburgers were passionate about something, they were just as vocal, active and resilient as any footballing terrorists.
Oh, good, okay.
It just had to be for the right cause.
In the 70s, the government wanted to build a nuclear power plant close to Freiburg, in the vineyards, basically.
Which should come close to Freiburg, 30 kilometers away.
Then students from Freiburg and the winemakers and the farmers, who more the conservative people, but then the left students, they all went together, did big protests for a long time.
United under the campaign message of "We Said No," Freiburgers from all walks of life carried out a week-long trial squat that turned into a full-blown occupation.
And in the end, they prevented the city from this nuclear power plant being built.
Many things followed after this protest against the nuclear power.
This "We Said No" movement, that was really a starting point for sustainability in Freiburg, I would say. So afterwards, solar power became a big thing.
And there were institutes for ecological powers built here in Freiburg, Öko Institute, yeah.
The Green Party nowhere in Germany has as big results as they have in Freiburg.
We had the first mayor who was green in Germany.
This whole concept of going by bike came to the city.
The people that they really like to drive their bicycle.
Much more people than in other cities use the bike.
And so Freiburg in Germany is very known for this. And also they kind of make fun of us. For example, there's a very, very famous song by a German rock band. The song is called Freiburg, and it goes like...
I don't know why I hate you guys so much.
And then they build a whole new part of the city where there are no cars allowed, there's no fossil fuel allowed. It's a whole neighborhood, it's called Vauban. You have to park outside in a garage. It's basically a model for sustainable living.
I love
Germany.
that.
People from all over Germany come there to learn.
From their organised protests as part of We Said No to innovations such as Vauban, Freiburgers were displaying the same activations and demonstrations that are so common across German football. They just hadn't realised it yet. Until 1991, when beloved but frugal president Achim Stocker hired Volker Finke, an unknown manager who had juggled his last job in coaching with his role as a high school teacher. President Stocker just had one request.
And he said, please, 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 never go up to the Bundesliga.
But Finke ignored it. And in his second year in charge, took Freiburg to the Bundesliga, and in his fourth year in charge, even led the club to an unfathomable third-place finish. And in doing so, slowly but surely, helped another German city fall in love with their football club.
And I think he showed the people that, first of all, it could be interesting and fun and very huge emotions to go to football on the weekend instead of hiking or bicycling or any other things which were in competition with a football match.
And so those tiny crowds of the 90s grew.
92, 93, I take a first-time ticket at Freiburg.
And grew.
First time we went 5 guys.
And grew.
Nowadays we are but 400.
And today got so big that they recently had to leave their beloved Dreisam Stadion next to the forest for their new 35,000-seat Europark Stadion next to the forest.
I've noticed, dude, this is happening with like the MLS specifically. A lot of these stadiums have gone from this like old school, like let's see if we can go back to it a little bit. Maybe. Yeah, this like old school look. You know, this like more, I would say, I like these older stadiums because they feel a little bit more personable. When I look at them, they feel you're closer to the pitch. Oh man, what was that game? It was Grimsby Township, I think, versus Manchester United. And the first thing I noticed about that match was the pitch that they were on in the stadium. It was so close. It was so raw. We noticed that with like the San Andreu video we reacted to a couple months ago. It's so close, so raw, so much more emotion. You could just, you're involved with the atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? I think you get that with big stadiums too. But these old school pitches, they really feel more personable, you know? These new ones, I don't mind them. They're modern, they're probably safer, a bit cleaner, easier to maintenance by today's standards, I would say probably. And you can do a lot more theatrics with them. I don't know. They look futuristic, they look nice. I think I'm still getting used to the charm of them. I'm saying getting used to because I guess I'm still relatively new to the sport overall. And seeing these stadiums, like they're beautiful. I think the SMG in Columbus is gorgeous, it's beautiful. But I've got a soft spot for these old school stadiums. They just feel so much more personable. It's like when you leave them, the memories feel like they're really attached to these places, you know? Is that weird? Let me know in the comments.
Park Stadion next to the forest.
And every year it's getting bigger.
He taught us that there could also be a passion for football in Freiburg, even for people that vote left or green or are the alternative part of the town. They went to football.
And whilst promotion to the Bundesliga created a new fan base, that new fan base created a new way of doing things in the Bundesliga, aka the Freiburg way of doing things.
Yeah.
Sustainable, eco-friendly practices.
Someone said like a good third of the crowd ride their bikes to the games.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Definitely.
Where do they park them? Yeah, they have thousands of bike parkings.
That's nothing wrong with that.
Even on the SC Freiburg, the stadium, they put a lot of solar power on their roofs, on the old stadium, now on the new as well.
To singing about their favorite local resource.
In the song that Freiburg fans sing before the game, they sing about wine as well.
To their Mittelstadt mindset.
So Mittelstadt, for me, I think it's very comparable to what SC Freiburg is doing as a football club.
It's a modest way of working in football.
You take small steps.
The word that I've heard on almost every Freiburg fan's lips this weekend is
Und Kontinuität.
Continuität. Continuity, stability, sustainability. This club represents that on so many levels.
Everything stable is the word, yeah.
And of course, just like their way of life, a more relaxed approach to doing things.
So no one is getting upset if you're losing.
If Freiburg gets relegated, there are no riots in the city, right?
Everyone is staying calm, looking for long-term
I like this
success.
approach.
Which
I like
explains
this
their
approach.
relationship with Coach Finker, who despite numerous relegations, enjoyed a 16-year run as head coach, the longest ever managerial post in the history of the Bundesliga.
Holger Finker, I think he was relegated 3 times.
And you never fired him?
No.
Wow.
Yeah, in 16 years, yeah. Because we were convinced that if we work together in loyalty and we remain calm, then we come back again, of course, yeah.
And it's happened each time.
It happened each time, yeah.
I love that, man. It's kind of a nice, I'm not going to pause again, but it's a nice change up, a nice bit of pace change compared to all the explosive, chaotic situations and stuff we've seen that have happened after certain things go down with other clubs. Like, I'm not saying those clubs should approach it like this, but it is nice to see there's so many different variations of how communities and fandoms go about managing their emotions and their support for clubs and their managers and the team. I think this is awesome. It's just so different.
It happened each time, yeah.
Yeah.
And that same logic is still applied today, with current head coach Christian Streich 11 years into his role as manager now, though he's worked at the club for even longer in other roles.
Christian Streich has been there for more than 25 years in this club.
Just like Finker, Streich's been relegated as head coach of Freiburg. But just like Finker, Streich was met with patience, not petulance.
Streich, you guys got relegated. You guys weren't calling for Streich to be fired?
He's like, why would we?
Nope.
You're saying that so
Yeah.
matter-of-factly as well. No, there was no cause for him to... I don't know many clubs where the team gets relegated and no one calls for the boss's head.
But I think it's a story in Freiburg. If you grow up in Freiburg in the club, then you learn that it's normal.
And whilst the club's treatment of Streich reflects the Freiburg way of doing things, the way Streich treats his role equally reflects the area.
So Christian Streich is basically the embodiment of this club, right? He's from a village very close to Freiburg, but in the most southwestern part of Germany. You can't go any more southwest than you're in Switzerland or in France.
From the way he speaks.
And so his accent is very, very strong. And everyone in Germany will tell you that they can't even understand him.
Yeah, it's quite strong. For us, it's easy to understand, but for people from the north, it might be hard to listen to a press conference.
To what he speaks about.
The one thing is the accent, and the other thing is what does he say?
Football is maybe for him not only football, it's society. And you can't speak about society if you don't speak about things which are good and not good.
And he's talking about racism.
Ich glaube, da muss man die Menschen aufklären. Also wir alle sind eigentlich irgendwann Flüchtlinge gewesen.
The big money in football that he doesn't like.
Über das Geld, was zu Newcastle kommt, und du weißt, dass da Leute mit dabei sind, die dann in schwere Menschenrechtsverletzungen verstrickt sind. Da habe ich auch ein Problem.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan. That's all it took? Wow, that guy's awesome. What the hell?
You can learn so much by just listening to him.
Yeah.
It's really interesting what he says.
Ich war mal im Jemen mit der A-Jugend vom SC Freiburg. Gut, ich bin vorher schon viel Kreis gewesen und ich habe halt einfach viel Interesse dran gehabt. Ich fand immer das andere spannend.
Same.
Umgeschaut und bin überall in Jakarta und überall in die Hinterhöfe reingegangen.
But it's not only on the sidelines where longevity plays a part in the club, as Freiburg's squad is one of the most loyal in Europe. From captain Christian Gunther.
He has never played at a different club.
He's from here, he's from the Black Forest too. Came to Freiburg, I think, age 14. So he's the player with the most appearances.
Now he's in the national team. And he stayed in Freiburg.
He's basically the symbol of the Freiburg way of doing
What if he's still there?
To code icon Niels Pedersen.
He came to Freiburg, played here 1 season, and then we relegated, and everyone was very sad, and everyone expected him to leave.
He decided, oh, it's a nice place here, and a beautiful club, I stay.
And he stayed till now, and yeah.
Even some of the players keep coming back. This summer, Matthias Ginter, who was at Borussia Dortmund and Borussia Mönchengladbach, he's coming back to his hometown
That
club.
word is crazy.
Vincenzo Griffo didn't really make it at Gladbach or Hoffenheim, but he's come back to his hometown club and he's had the season of his life.
However, despite their commendable practices, admirable ethics, and incredible growth, in their entire 118-year history, Sport Club Freiburg have not only never won anything, they've never even come close.
I'm 53 years old, I've never seen a cup final with Freiburg.
But in talking to Freiburg fans, you realise they don't really mind, as they take pride in their club for different reasons, no more so than their member structure.
And we are more than 50+1, we are 100.
Like 100.
Oh, what? Really?
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
You see, unlike most other clubs, Freiburg don't just meet the 51% vote threshold. Their members own all their voting rights.
What?
And all of the club. one of only 4 clubs left in the Bundesliga to do so.
When they talk about this is my club, legally speaking, it literally is. It is their club.
So we can be very proud of this because it belongs to us. It's our club and not a club of some investors, just a very basic membership organization where everyone has one vote.
And perhaps that's why their fans feel so strongly about having played a role in saving 50+1.
Because we showed that at the end we can influence how football is developing. So it was a real success, but we are not 100% relieved because there are still threats on 50+1.
And they see that threat coming from one club in particular.
RB Leipzig, founded in 2009 by the Austrian energy drink manufacturer Red Bull.
It was founded to promote Red Bull.
The controversial club was created out of Red Bull buying 5th division side SVV Markranstadt, where they instantly changed the kit, the crest and the name before guiding them to 5 promotions in a record 7 years to get them to the Bundesliga, where they still remain today, all of which was achieved through practices considered by most in German football to be unjust. From the money spent,
they did a lot of financial doping.
Financial backing by a company the size of Red Bull.
So they put a lot of money in it to get up to the Bundesliga.
To their advantageous use of their umbrella clubs.
A system of farm teams for transfers.
They have also other clubs in other countries, and so that's also financial doping because they use the other clubs to have one club to support one club.
All of these structural advantages that RB Leipzig have effectively distort the competition.
But it's their ownership model that's particularly condemned.
They have to have 51% ownership by members, surely, right?
Yeah, but they have only under 20 members.
There are only 19 of these members.
And they all work for Red Bull.
And nobody else can become a member of Red Bull.
How many members does Freiburg have?
Freiburg, as of this week, have approximately 35,000
How's that
members.
possible?
Have other people tried to join?
Yes, they did, but they decided that they are closed shop to circumvent the rule.
RB Leipzig as a club would never allow it because it's not in their interest. It's not in their interest to have voting participatory members because the whole idea of this construct is not to allow participation.
And of course, the promotion of one club like this always goes hand in hand with the relegation of another club, which might be a membership organization doing good and solid work.
They take that place at the expense of another club who doesn't have access to the unique competition advantages that Red Bull clubs have.
So, you know, I know a little bit about Leipzig, but I didn't really realize like how deep this ran and like how bad it really is. I mean, wow. I think we reacted to a video kind of breaking them down before in the past, and maybe I'm just kind of drawing a blank here. But I didn't know they had literally just farmer clubs they're using to basically raise cattle, raise players that, you know, they will only specifically use with this club. That's insane. I didn't know it ran that deep. Wow. I thought it was just, you know, they bought up a team and then they just grinded their way through because they basically had infinite money, could do whatever they wanted to. I didn't know the thing about the membership stuff. I didn't even know you could just not do membership, apparently. That's crazy. Wow.
Every other club in Germany was run along the model of RB Leipzig, then you wouldn't have the fan culture that we all love.
Of course.
It's one or the other.
Yeah, there's no between.
And then came the 2022 season, where SC Freiburg went on an inspired run in the German Cup, and for the first time in their 118-year history, made it to the final of a competition.
Oh, please tell me they
their
win.
opponents just happened to be RB Leipzig. So for one more time this series, COPA90 and I packed our bags and headed out to Germany to be amongst another fan base on the verge of experiencing a truly once-in-a-lifetime moment.
Oh, the chills.
All right, well, here we are in
got a little hard.
Freiburg. Not only my first time, but COPA90's first time here in southwest Germany. I'm excited. I'm impressed with the aesthetics, but I got to be honest, unlike the last 2 episodes, Seville and Trabzon, where the club colours and the anticipation for the cup final was everywhere, you look around here and as pretty as it is, there's no sign that their local club has a chance to lift something for the very first time. So, to get an understanding of just what's going on, I'm heading into the forest. I've been told this is a very nature-heavy city, and I'm going to speak to a local journalist who hopefully can explain to me why no one seems to be that enthused about what's going on.
I think city and club, they're influenced by each other. So the people here are very laid back. This kind of atmosphere that the city has, it really transforms to the clubs.
Calmness really seemed like the central theme with everyone we spoke to, especially Rudy, a longtime supporter and former employee of the club.
Everything is calm. It's not football as a thing of life or death.
But their calm nature on the surface didn't equate to a lack of passion or excitement. as we found a short drive out of the city centre amongst Boris and his supporter group.
Yeah.
You know it's a cup final when you're drinking wine at 11 a.m.
So excited was he for the tournament, Boris had built a 1x1 replica version of the trophy, customizing it in true German style with a tap to pour beers out of.
You're telling me you're going to pour beer in here?
Yeah, 8.5 liters.
Though he did maintain the beers would only flow out of it on one condition.
After the victory, we get something to drink
so you
inside.
haven't put any beer in here yet?
Nope.
And so after farewelling Boris and his crew as they left on their overnight bus journey to Berlin, the city that hosts Germany's cup final, I caught up with Helen and Manuel, two SC Freiburg fans heavily involved in their club's supporter scene, to discuss a special statement the fanbase had released ahead of the match.
In the statement we were saying that the final is not a normal game for us. Of course it's not, because it's our first and maybe only final we will ever play.
Right.
But we are also saying that we are not playing against a normal opponent, that RB Leipzig is not a normal club. It's very special because it's playing with unfair rules here.
Yeah.
Just how unfair is it compared to what you guys have in your resources? People who don't understand.
It's like David against Goliath. I think like this.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, yeah. I love the way they do these, like where they introduce the people after they've been talking to them for forever. I love that. Because it makes the conversation just feel so natural without even thinking about it. So get on. How cool is to have great public transportation?
We have 220,000 inhabitants, and 40,000 of them will be here today in Berlin.
40,000, wow.
Ich werde es vielleicht gar nicht mehr erleben, dass wir im Endspiel sind.
Oh, well, don't say that, man. Damn. I mean, I get it.
Eher, aber ich kann das nicht. Deshalb bin ich jetzt auch nach Berlin, weil ich werde es nicht mehr erleben.
Oh man.
So we're going to Theodor-Heuss-Platz, which is a platz close to the stadium, and there are 40,000 Freiburg fans there, and they're all gonna march together to the stadium. There will be this big crowd going to the biggest event in the history of the clubs. And this is the biggest football experience for many of us.
Probably everybody.
For all of
No one's
for all of us who belong to Freiburg, of course, yeah.
Look at that sea of, oh my God. That's crazy, man. We've seen some crazy crowds in this channel, but it'll always amaze me just seeing them together.
Unbelievable! Unbelievable! Have you put anything in there yet?
It does matter, of course, to know about how this club made it to this final with not so much money, with a very good atmosphere within the club, with excellent scouting, of course.
Oh wow, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Two different locations.
The rest of Germany is looking at this game and seeing it very much as like two opposing models, two opposing fundamentally different ideas of German football. On the one hand, you have
Leipzig, which is a club that is so artificial and it's very new and they only exist for around 10 years. Then on the other hand, you have
SC Freiburg, Sportclub from Freiburg, a club which is 100% under the control of its members. It is one of only 4 remaining EVs or eingetragene Vereine in the Bundesliga.
I could not pronounce that word if I tried.
I think football is about sporting merit, and we are seeing that sporting merit is becoming less and less important. At the moment, we are seeing people with the most money winning the games, so we really have to change the system.
And I think for me, football lives from the romantic idea that we can win the match.
Dude, please tell me they win. Oh my God, these stress me out so badly because I don't want to see the depression at the end. How much time we got left in this? We got 7 minutes. Oh my God, please tell me they actually win.
If I go to a match and I think, no, we have no chance to win that, or we have never a chance to win the league or to win anything, then football is damaged.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
The history of this club is being the underdog, is beating teams that are much richer and that have so much money and big sponsors, investors. And so that's why they're always good when they can perform as the underdog.
I'm so tempted to go look at Foot Mob just to see if they won this. Halftime, 1-0, 1-0. Oh, here's this depressing part. Here we go. I know it's gonna be like that. Oh shit. Oh,
I think it's very Unbelievable to think of Freiburg at the German Cup final. To see this atmosphere.
The German Cup's like what,
like a once in a lifetime experience.
Like an FA Cup or like a Copa del Rey or Spanish.
We had a miracle season.
A miracle season.
Freiburg lost the 3 games in the league, right, up to this final. And so
You're saying you were happy about that?
Yeah, I think that's a good thing because I think that Freiburg is playing so much better when they're the underdog.
Oh, red card. Let's go.
So Freiburg is a funny club. When the odds are in our favor, we sometimes can't handle that. Then it gets into the head of the players, and they think, wow, we're not the underdogs anymore. What has happened here? When everyone thinks, Freiburg has to win this, that's when we're not so good.
Okay, that makes sense.
I think because we're not used to this role, right? We're never the favorites.
She's got to smoke a cig. I know that's right. I know that's right.
These guys have said they're the stable club, the calm club, the cool club. I don't know how you stay cool.
Did they go straight to penalties? Oh, wait, no, never mind. I'm stupid.
118
Hit the post. I'm dumb.
No one on this side of the ground has ever seen their team win anything.
I swear to God, dude. Oh my God, stop this!
How are you going to be feeling on Saturday?
I'm going to be failing.
How are you going to be feeling? I mean, this truly is the first time in your life your team could win a trophy.
Yesterday I thought, please no penalty.
No! Oh my God, I hate penalty shootouts so much.
But people were stopping me on the streets already in this last hour since we came to Berlin, right? And telling me, Freiburg, I want Freiburg to win, and you have to beat RB Leipzig. And that tells me that we've already won in some way, right? Because people recognize us. They see that we're a good club.
Please don't use this as a way to say that they lose.
And so what we've achieved this year is so much more than we expected. It's so much more.
Please God, please God. Okay. This is stressing me out, dude.
We already achieved everything by going to this final.
That's okay. That's okay.
It's already the biggest event in the history of this club. So winning the final would of course be one step more, but
oh my God, dude, it's not gonna happen.
It's still, it doesn't really matter because we've already achieved so much.
They're not gonna do it, are they?
It's just bonus from here.
They're not gonna do it, are they?
The resources these two clubs have is very uneven. So on the one hand, you have RB Leipzig. They have Red Bull as their sponsor, which is this very, very big company with drinks, right? So they give so much money into this club. Meanwhile, Freiburg, their main sponsor, which they have on their shirt, is the local milk company from the city.
What the hell? Okay, please, no, please.
So it's very uneven, and RB Leipzig really should win this.
Ob es für Freiburg wichtig ist zu gewinnen, das weiß ich jetzt gar nicht. Von finanziellen Möglichkeiten sage ich jetzt, ist natürlich Leipzig Favorit.
Dude.
Freiburg choose the hard way, I think.
Oh.
And the long way. And the way where you have to go back again and stand up again and work hard for it.
That was basically a death flag, the way they were setting all of this up.
And of course, they work on another way hard, but not on the way I like, and not on the way I like football. And so I think it's, yeah, kind of the football I love versus the modern football I hate.
Oh my God, man! Oh. Oh my God, dude. I can't believe they didn't win that. That's so heartbreaking, man. I mean, I'm glad they have an entirely different approach to it. Man. Oh, dude, if I could just watch the sad movie, man. Oh my God, that is heartbreaking, dude. I actually want to cry, and I don't cry to anything, but oh man, the way they set that up is just insane, bro. Why would you do that to me? Why would you do that to me, man? That's heartbreaking, bro. I don't know how the hell you guys have stayed fans of this sport for so long. The amount of stress that I get from watching Barcelona, Columbus Crew, you know, and other little teams here and there. I'm gonna start watching SC Freiburg, dude. I'm sold. Their story, the way they do things, their fandom, their belief in nature, keeping the environment healed. You know, I'm not really big on like politics, social, economic issues, all that. You know, I don't really get too deep into that, but their like beliefs in people. Oh my God. Of course they lose to goddamn Red Bull. Wow, man. Do we have any SC Freiburg fans on this channel? If we do, let me know in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts about this. That just ruined my night. I'm not gonna let that make me so sad. Like, I'm happy for them truly, but the amount of emotion that is running through my blood right now, that's just so devastating, man. I'm legitimately sad, dude. Oh man, it made me tear up a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. That's a beautiful story, but that old man saying he probably won't live to see another final, that broke my heart, I'm not gonna lie. Like, damn, bro, don't say that. Oh my God. Oh, I love and hate this sport with so much passion, it's not even funny. I don't think I've found anything like this in my life that stresses me out on like a weekly basis like this, ever. I have had so many days be determined by if my favorite football teams have won a match or not. I need to adopt their way of staying calm and just being grateful for the fact that they are here and the fact that they are trying and doing their best to the fullest with the limited resources that they have. I mean, their sponsor is a damn a local milk company. That's crazy, man. I do wonder how much of the financial situation at that club also comes from like the memberships and stuff too. Well, probably a decent amount considering like their stadium and all the other things they've been able to do over the last few years, I assume, but that's tough, man. I definitely am putting Freiburg on my list of places to visit. I mean, Germany seems like a pretty chill place, especially for, you know, people of my skin tone. You know, I say I have no problem going anywhere and it's all about character and blah, 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 but it is something I do worry about. I see a lot of crazy things. I want to pick and choose where I go kind of carefully. I think Freiburg would be a great place to go. It just seems like a great place to reconnect with nature, meet a more calm, chill people, especially in comparison to the rest of Germany, where there's so much more like chaotic energy and stuff, like they said throughout the video. In comparison to the rest of Germany, there's so much chaotic energy and in so many different cities, you know, so much go. And that's kind of like how it is over here in the US. So much go. It's why it talks so fast, man. We're so go. Damn, dude, beautiful video as always. I cannot stand this damn channel. COPA90 can tell some stories, dude. Wow. Oh, that was another football reaction, guys. My words are all over the place. Our first and maybe only final SC Freiburg once in a lifetime. COPA90, another masterclass as always. Be sure to go check out the original video down below if you haven't already. Again, COPA90, they're always doing their thing, always got something amazing going on with all of the stories they've told, man. This is a 3-year-old, 4-year-old video. I don't even know if Freiburg are even in, you know, the first division. I don't even know if they're in Bundesliga. I'll have to check that now. But thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought about the reaction in the comments down below. And this will be your boy Jay with another unbelievably emotional football reaction video. I will catch you all in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.